Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hunters of all ages. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Glowy Beard time. That's better. Welcome to this week's Hunting Lodge. I almost said tackle box. I'm your host, Jack C. Beard. We got a lot to cover this week. If you haven't heard the news, we are getting so much closer to our release coming up. Like, it's just around the corner, man. It's hard to believe. March 12th, all platforms. It's going to be average, probably about $5 US. Depending where you are, that's going to vary, of course. Man, last week we got to cover these weapons and talk a little bit about it. We have a little bit of a deep dive to do today. There is a ton coming in this beautiful, beautiful pack. Is everything good? You can hear me? Everything's great. So we're going to cover all that. We're going to go through that. And I have some very juicy news. Some of you are you're going to love this, but we're going to get to that. So let's start off just for a quick recap. I'm here at the range. We're going to do a quick reshoot of all these weapons. Then we're going to go and we're actually going to take it out and I'm going to show you. It's going to tie in with what we're talking about. I gotta get this out of the way first. So what are we talking about in the new high caliber weapon pack? Well, we are talking about the Arzina 300 mag tactical. It's my new favorite boomstick. I think it's going to be everyone's new favorite boomstick. When you want a 7 to 9 class, this is going to be the only go-to. There's other options, but this thing's just too good. Like, are we going to nerf this? It's too good. All right. We've also got the 4570 Jernberg Superior. This little bad boy, it's a welcome addition. What's great about this is the weight, how you can work it into your loadouts, and it's a 4570 round. Now, listen, we mentioned last week that there are some improvements. I've dug into this. In fact, the whole team we wanted to see what it was. And there are slight improvements to the 4570. So don't think that it's going to react quite as, maybe we'll look at it again. But as of right now, it's had an increase in its muzzle velocity, in its penetration range, and it has a delayed bullet drop. It actually really makes the round feel better. But it's maybe, you guys get your hands on it. Let us know what you think, and we'll take another look at it, because I'm actually quite happy that we're giving this round some love. The Strandberg 10 SA Executive. It's the waterfowl hunter's dream. We have an alternative to the Cacciatore now, and it just happens to come in a 10 gauge. The thing smacks. It absolutely smacks. It's absolutely great. So let's just get a few shots off on these for those that missed it last week, and then we're going to dive into some of this stuff. I'm going to blow your minds today. Some of you, you're not going to believe the news. It's just great. And yes, I'm hyping you up because when I saw this, I realized this is kind of a big deal. We're going to have to really, really get into it. All right. Oh, did some of you happen to notice that? Did I not mention that before we fire these guns? One of the additions to come with this is I can see it popping up in chat. You might notice my binos in which I hold. Nice little, I guess you call it quality of life upgrade coming. We are now able to customize our binos and our rangefinders. It's one more step in the right direction. It's kind of cool. Make it your own. It's kind of neat. Well, you can't really see if I hold them up like this. But we can go in here. Well, you know what? Let's go into the store and give you a quick look. You've got a couple zones. I know I'm jumping around here. I want to get this news out, and I'm trying to rush through this, and I need to slow. I need to calm. All right, let's go to our storage here. Let's just bounce down to our binos and check this out. It's pretty cool. I also really like that we're able to see these things in such detail. When we get a new weapon, it's such a nice way to look at it, inspect it, see all the little details they put into it. But this is what I've gone with. Now, you guys can play around. You can absolutely get crazy and put all kinds of camos on it. Oh, well, of course, I picked one that doesn't want to do it. You can mix it all up. Try it how you want. Maybe you want to, maybe your color matching, maybe you want to do, but it's really neat. I really like that. I think that looks sharp. So yeah, really happy about that. We've almost got everything. Quads when. I know, right, Mr. Milk? You guys can feel it. You know I'm bursting to tell you this stuff. But nonetheless, Really welcome addition. It's just a nice little touch, something that got implemented, and I wanted to share it. I think it just adds a little more customization to our loadouts. Okay, back to shooting, and then to revealing. All right, let's do this. Of course, the rain. I always get the rain when I come here. Okay, we're zeroed for, what is it? Are we at 100? Is that what I put it to? Let's mark it at let's put it to the 150. Here. All right. We'll start with this bad boy, because it is honestly the star of the show, in my opinion. If you missed it, the new semi-automatic 300 hits. Bang on. Enough said. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, make way raid noise. You can do this all day. Like, literally. You're going to go into a Rambo frenzy. But what I would really like to point out with this, and we did cover it last stream, if you want to get more of a look at it, head back then. But you can see on our follow-ups, you can see there's hardly any recoil. Real quick to get right back on point. I think this is going to be a welcome addition in everybody's loadout if you're going big game hunting. Of course, we got the shotgun. Don't think I'm really going to hit it from there. I do have a slug in here. Oh, I did. Now, I was aiming right at it. Obviously, zeroed for 100. Looking at the 150, it is what it is. Let's just try this here one more time. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. Not too bad with the irons. Thing's a beast, man. 10 gauge. Might want to bring some padding for the old shoulders. I'm just saying. And of course, not to be overshadowed, very, very useful addition to our loadout. I'm going to shoot just a touch high. Put her on point. Single shot, 45-70. It's fantastic. I'm actually really, really pleased with it. Let's get out of this noisemaker. Holy. Why you always gotta rain on me, man? Jeez. And there we go. So there's the 3 weapons in a nutshell. If you want more details, again, go check out last stream. We're going to move on because I have some stuff to cover. We're going to talk about the animal changes, the class changes, the overall icon changes that are happening. We're going to talk about a little bit of a reshuffle on a certain species. And in fact, just to drop that news, why don't we head somewhere that's maybe a little more applicable for this species? I know every time, the rain chases me. You gotta understand, living in old Vancouver, we're in a rainforest, and I want the sunny weather. Who knew? Well, my friends, okay. Edge of your seat time. This one's huge. This is a really big change, and we're doing something different with it. As you all know, a while back, we made some changes in the home ranges, and it shuffled animals' zone times around. Shortly after doing so, there was just this overwhelming request to change the black bear drink time so that it wouldn't coincide with the mountain lions. We did so, and we realized it was a less than ideal experience. It placed them into the wee hours of the morning, and let's face it, it's not everybody's favorite, but it did make them quite difficult to hunt. You guys know where I'm going with this? Yes, sir, my friends. We got a new drink time on our black bears, 4 to 8 a.m. in the morning. Rejoice, my friends. That black bear grind has just elevated to new levels. Now, I have a few things to say about this. First off, you may find some minor annoyances from the mountain lions, as we do. They don't precisely overlap, but we know that some like to hang around at zones and stuff, but it should be a much better experience. We want your feedback on it. This is a change inspired by the community for the community from our devs. They want it to be a much better experience. Let's face it, they're one of the best looking great ones in the game, right? They have some of the most exclusive and most thought out fur variations, so it's a pleasure to see this. Now, I know the question you're all asking. Let me just hold on. I gotta sit down here. I gotta get ready. You know what? I'm just gonna lay down here. We're gonna take a moment. But Beard, does that mean we're getting our animal reset? Oh, a population reset. I'm glad you asked that, strangely voiced community member. Well, no, you are not. There's a catch. We're aware we're aware of the time people put into their grinds, into their setups, and when a pop reset happens, it can just take away so much valuable time. It is a last resort. Okay, it is a last resort, so we're not last resorting. Instead, at this point, what we think we're doing, well, what we are doing, is we have implemented these changes, but your animals will still be going to the previous zones at those times. You're going to need to cycle them through. You're going to need to shoot them to have them show up at your new times on the map. If it's the right choice, we did. It's for you. It's for you, the players. We don't want to cause any undue stress. However, if it does look like, hey, this just isn't working, there's a whole bunch that are stuck on the wrong time, and maybe it's not the best experience, we can offer a population reset, but we'll do that with our next release. We'll push it till then and see what you guys think. So please let us know, you guys, once you get your hands on this. Let's not theorize ahead of time. Let's try it and see what you think, because again, we're trying to avoid the pop reset. So what do we think of that, chat? What do we think? Your bears will stay the same, Faded Hawk. Absolutely. What if they're changed on other bear maps, not just SRP? This is our time change for them, so it should be good. It should have a much better experience for you. You like this better? You can understand. Might get confused. That's our concern, Crow. You know, you are our core community, my friends. You are the folks that are passionate and very involved, and you get all this news and you deliver it to our different platforms. But we have a large player base and a lot. Believe it or not, they don't watch these streams. I don't know what's wrong with them. I thought we were going to be friends. Clearly there's issues there. It's not you, it's me. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we want it to be a good experience for everybody. So if we see that the overall community is kind of fussy about it, then we'll take a relook. But there we go. Big news. Very, very big news. Bad. You can understand now why I have been busting. I wasn't actually going to drop that for a little bit, but I had to put it out there. I really, really did. So let's roll the time and let's try out this brand new 300 goodness and see what happens. So 4 to 8, I'm going to presume to assume that it's always best to give them that hour leadway with any species, and bears are notoriously slow. We could be sitting and waiting for a little bit. Where are we right now? Let's actually head up. Let's go to Two Fawns. It's always a good location. There's always lots of action, and it's mingled in with the mountain lions, so we can maybe shoot 1 or 2 of them as well. Oh. Is there a way to add an optional reset? No, unfortunately, that isn't something we can do. It's an all or nothing deal. And we did explore all options with resets. So over the years, we've been exploring all options, and it's always a last resort. If you are on PC, I don't do it. I'm not the one to ask, but you do have a population file you could reset if you wanted to do so. But in all honesty, you know, it wouldn't take long to go and shoot out those times at those lakes, for instance, for your drink times. But, you know, again, let us know in the feedback within the Discord and the various platforms. Specifically Discord, we don't miss a thing on there. Wait, did I just miss a pig? But, you know, we really do want your feedback on it, guys. You might be surprised, Zen. You might be surprised. We'll see what we can do. Get to see everybody mad. You understand. A 50 cal for rabbits? That won't happen, my friend. Well, I shouldn't say what happened. Could we see a 50 cal? Would that be something? I don't know. I'd rather see some nitros. D75 H&H. What a rig be. Yep, change the bear drink time after Lady gets a great one. Well, fortunately it won't affect anybody's population. So if you are in a grind, that's a good. Right, it is a good thing. I think at the end of the day, the team they're keeping you all in their thoughts and not wanting to cause any distress. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game. It's supposed to be fun, but if it's not a great experience, and if it is a great experience, we want to hear both sides of the coin. So once the update is out, get some threads going in the forums, and let's just get everybody's thoughts in there and see what everyone's thinking, which way we're moving. Oh, I'm just gonna pick up these gorgeous binos of mine and spot our first famale hanging around in the field. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. Now, as we'll let these guys and gals all move in, as they're doing right now, that's why I give them that hour. Let's just get low and slow. And let me jump over. Let's talk a little bit about the animal class changes. There's a lot of folks that have been inquiring about this. You've blown up my DMs. And I feel like a broken record. I apologize. I can't divulge anything until we do so officially. Or, you know, I won't be available in those DMs to reach. So I'm going to grab this list. I'm going to slide it on over onto the screen. Music to my ears. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. We'll start at the top. And pow. Now, this is just the class. There has been some little adjustments on like some of the kitties with weight. Yes, Cash. Stop trying to pull stuff out of me ahead of time. So, as you can see, we'll go down the list. Our Bobcats first up. So, they used to be a class 3. They're moving down to a class 2. Okay, this goes the same with both of the varieties of Bobcat. And as you can see, it's going to change how you can hunt them. It actually opens up the field of viable weapons. This is pretty cool. Oh, did we add beaver on here? Don't worry, that's just to get you talking. And so, there's a lot of folks that are really going to like that one. And I know the Bobcat change is going to be quite popular because like you can get the 22 on the thing now. There's options. It's great. I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out. The Peccary is going from a 4 to a 3. Makes sense. The Pronghorn is going from a 4 to a 3, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure the impact that's really going to have yet, but I don't think it's going to change too much, but it's still kind of neat. Boar has gone from a 5 down to a 4. Same with the pig. I'm curious. What about our warthogs? Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. I'll look into that. But I would imagine, well, they're kind of beefy. They may stay, but nonetheless, you can see they moved down. The bighorn sheep going from a 5 down to a 4. Right? That's actually kind of a big one too. The rooster deer going from a 4 up to a 5. I'm reading it. I'm backwards reading. The Rusa going from a 6 down to a 5 is big. Here's a big one, and I was surprised to see this. The mule deer has gone from a 6, they're very stocky, down to a 5. It's interesting. We'll see how that plays out. The gray wolf from a 5 up to a 6. All the wolves, in fact, from a 5 up to a 6. The Gemsbok has made a big leap from an 8 down to a 6. Now, this is one for our IRL African hunters. I'm curious about this one because I don't get to hunt them. And I've had many folks telling me in the past that, you know, they're too high in the class. So I'm interested to see some feedback on that one. Again, get it in the Discord. Don't want to miss this stuff, man. Sambar deer. Sambar deer is going from a 6 to a 7. Both elk are going from an 8 to a 7. Now, I do see some asks about the red deer, and maybe this is something we'll look at in the future. It's a tough one because, you know, these classes, they depict everything from their difficulty, but really it's a lot of it's about their weight. Now, the elk are a fair bit bigger than red deer, so it makes sense for them to be a class up. I know it actually, I'm not really calling it, but I won't use any names. One of our partners actually brought up a point, and for a grinder's perspective, it would be nice to see the red deer bump up a class. So maybe it's something we'll look at in the future, but for now, that separation seems to make sense to me. The Rocky Mountain elk and the Rosie elks going from an 8 to a 7, and we'll see what sort of impact that has. Now, here's an interesting one. If you look at our alligators and our crocodiles, obviously the American alligator, it's not as big as the saltwater crocodile, and we can see it differentiate still here from a 6 up to a 7 for the alligator and from a 7 up to 8 for the crocodile. And of course, grizzly bear, I got a little bit of oomph going on. They moved up to an 8, and that kind of makes sense. So, you know, they are different from the black bear. They are a fair bit bigger, and it makes sense to have that separation. There it is in a nutshell. And actually, I'm going to watch chat for a minute because I know I missed so much. But I'm curious, what do you guys think here is the biggest change that's going to have the biggest impact on your hunt? Let me know. Let's see what you say. This is what we have now. To my understanding, this is all we currently have for changes. There may be more in the future. It's quite possible. Hey, sorry, I got a ping and I had to check. And real good guy at work. He's one of our designers. He teased me. I got to see this weapon pack when I was over in Sweden, and oh my god, my jaw dropped. I was like, this is insane. I couldn't believe it. I have been holding on to this news since then. And yeah, absolutely. What a time to join, my man. You heard that. I can't help it. I have to push for things. All right, what do we got here? Red Deer 7 for sure. Class 5 icon. But okay, so let's pause. So Fear the deer. Let me get, where'd my mouse go? Jeez, get over there. Red Deer to 7. I mean, it's interesting, right? How would you separate? You'd have to, you can't move elk all the way up to 8. And like we're talking quite a bit of difference in weight, right? So I don't know. Red Deer with 300 are common in Scotland, I know. And that's the thing. Here's where our game will always differ from IRL. Right? This is where we have to remember there is a difference. It's why some of the weapons handled differently than IRL. You know, this actually is great to have this up while we talk about this. This creates a structure in which we can base the game around. And it also creates the need to manage different weapons, to use different weapons. It adds detail, right? If it might get a little boring if everything is just, well, I mean, it'd be accurate if it was IRL, but there is a balance that the game tries to attain, right? So, you know, with the classes, it's a big one with the classes because the ammo is tied to the class, right? So we try to keep close to a realism while keeping that game aspect in it. So that's where I've struggled with that one, you know, is the elk. How would the elk and the red deer be the same? I mean, you could just Google if you've never hunted red deer, or if you've hunted red deer, you've never hunted elk. Just a Google comparison will show you what I'm talking about. They are significantly different in size. I always thought red deer were the same as elk. I've never hunted them. But the game has taught me things. Program really didn't need to be changed. More in line with animals their size as we move others. Sub need to come with that. But do you think that'll have an effect? I don't think it really will. But I'm curious. Surprise moose didn't bump to a dive. I mean, they are still a deer species. They are quite the tanks. I would not object to see them as a 9. I'm not going to lie. But they're arguably not as stout as, you know, most of our 9s in game, like, you know, big boy buffaloes and so on and so forth. Hey. I don't see what's behind you. Move to the right. Oh. I have a, oh, yes. Here, I'll move me to the right. Hold on a sec here. It's a good point. You're right. You can't see the bottom ones there. Do I need to move everything? You can just see it. There we go. Yeah, with the power of technology. I'm getting dizzy. Don't do that to me, please, chat. These animals getting a pop reset? No. There are no pop resets coming with this update. And that honestly was the thing with the black bear, right? So, no pop resets. I would expect the turkeys to go to a class to go up 1 class. Their weight is that much bigger than those in the other class. That's a good point. And again, we could revisit stuff at a later date. Yeah, interesting. I'd considered that one myself. Out of curiosity, since the animals are getting class reworks, are any of the calibers getting rework as well? No, this brings them more in line to some of our in-game calibers. We're not spending time on a ballistics rework right now. The 4570 has seen some slight improvements. Like I say, with that muzzle velocity, really the bullet drop makes a massive difference when you're using it. It has a much better feel now. But, you know, they're not dropping the buffaloes as you saw last stream. So, red deer smaller, cool. Now they should go down easier. Red deer aren't any smaller. There's been no changes to red deer. They're smaller than the elk is what I was saying. No changes to red deer. You can see on this list. I'll leave it up here for another minute before we get moving again. Because this is big, right? This has some implications to loadouts, really, is what it comes down to. It's not going to change the way you play. It's not a drastic change to the game. I think it's just more to bring it in line with, you know, because we've added so many classes, and at some point you got to relook at things and give it that little bit of a rework, right? So It brings them more in line with their weights and classes. Turkeys in Canada should be a level 2. Level 2 turkey will require level 2 birdshot or buckshot. Yeah, true. Turkeys went hard. Oh, was there not something? I haven't even seen this in the patch notes. I'm going to have to inquire about that. I think that there was actually something else I will inquire. 1 second. I'm going to send a message to one of my partners in crime. One of our senior CMs. Patricia, once you put reminder about... Okay. She's not going to know why I'm sending that to her. I'll explain later. And there we go. We got a pronghorn right on us. Is that what's happening right now? Nonetheless, there we go. Big changes. Pause the screen, screenshot it. You'll come back to the stream later if you want to study it and go over it. Again, you know, it's hard to really to see the changes or to feel them until the update's out. We always want your feedback. I'd probably suggest waiting until next week when the update comes out. See what you think, how it feels in game before you deliver your feedback, because your feedback may change. And, you know, we've only got so much time in a day. You guys are passionate, man. Holy. Hey, I'm serious. You want to see how passionate we are? Just go look at the Arctic Canada map up, folks. Just go look at the big 5 post. The thing is mind-blowing. Okay, back to the goodness. Back to the show. Did I mention the Black Bear drink time change? Because that is absolutely massive. Okay, here we go. Now, just as a reminder, and I think we're kind of going to be relying on our community a little bit for this one. We're going to put it out there, obviously, but with these changes happening, with the Black Bear changes specifically, you have to note that to get them out of their old times, the majority of them are going to have to be reshot. Now, as you can see, I have some coming in here right now. I think this is going to be most prevalent to our grinders, to those that are actively hunting and working through them. Do I even have any need zones for bears here? I do have. That's good. We'll see how that goes. Please stand by. Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of you saw that too. That hand's always hitting the Windows key. All right. I will get back to that one. Yes, as an IRL African Hunter, GemSpot makes more sense to move down to a 6. I also highly recommend moving wildebeest up in a class. They're incredibly tough animals from first-hand experience. Something to definitely consider. Thank you, Connor. It's good getting that kind of feedback from folks that are actually out there and able to hunt these IRL. I'm still waiting for that company-sponsored trip to get me out there for science sake. But that was the thought. And, you know, through our research and through our consultants and through all of the information we gathered, it seemed like the right. Oh, I realize that is not scrolling. Okay. Any chance that Coyote would get a new model update? That's not in for this update if it does happen, my friend. Love how the most popular request is Chamois and Feral Ghost changing to class 4. Didn't happen. It's the most popular request. I mean, Johnny, my man, you see the most popular. I can't say it's a very popular one. Or it doesn't have a high frequency, I should say. Yeah, caught me a little off guard with that because, yeah, it's not something I see around, if at all. Could that make a new hunting game for the dinosaurs? We have our work cut out for us on our plans on what's coming up here in the not too distant future. Are elk going to interfere with bears? No, elk and bears will not commingle in that sense. They don't interact. Do you think you will ever add falconeers? Oh my god, that would be amazing. That would be a huge undertake. I wouldn't rule it out. I just don't know how that would play. And then would it be restricted to certain maps? Because you can't do that in certain areas. But that would be amazing. Really would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be a cool ad. What are you chasing? What are you chasing? You are in your rest time. Correct. There you are. Okay, you get after it. We're just taking our time strolling over here. We expect clues for new maps. We haven't done clues for about 3 maps now. It's just it's not feasible. Unfortunately, it's just not feasible as the game has grown. As the game has grown in size, because we have to patch it in and we have to patch it out. So we unfortunately do not do the clues. Not to say that that won't change in the future. It's possible. I was a massive fan of them, so you know I'm always pushing for it. I'm just a little confused on something that's happening right now. Crocodile 10. You mean you want a great one, Crocodile? Oh goodness. No, we are not even close to being able to talk about a new reserve, my friends. I mean, I tell you that every week. It's unfortunately, I would love to, but okay, maybe we'll go over a few things while I roll down here. I probably should have showed the revolvers while we were at the range. We've talked about the animal class updates. I'm going through all of our stuff here, just so I don't miss anything. I'd like to get to a spot and set up. Let's just roll down here and set up. I don't think this is going to pan out as I'm hoping. Something's off. Yes, but that's not it. But I need more information before I discuss that, because I don't want to give wrong info. Okay, so let's talk about the new class icons. These are arguably small changes, I suppose one could say, but they are changes nonetheless, and I want to cover them. I want to be able to talk about it. So, animal class icons and the overall class icon is more specifically. We now have a new icon for class 4. It's going to be the whitetail. What do we got down here? Man, got my hopes up whenever I see. Can't help it. Yeah, we might have some company. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Holy. The whitetail is now holding the, let's see. We have a new icon for class 4 whitetail deer. The class 4 boar has been moved to class 5. The class 5 wolf is now the new class 6 icon. So the overall icon. The icon for class 6 used to be a reindeer. That's no longer there. It's now a wolf. So they're minor changes, but just so you're not confused when you see it, that'll be something you'll have to get used to. You have to spend a little time on it. Ultimately, it's not a massive change. It's quite possible. Okay. Didn't want to comment on this until I had, so I can see what's happening now. There's a gray area here for me, and with these changes, because we're doing something different. Without the population reset, you can see I'll show you what I saw, and it set the bells off. Is I'm still showing these black bears at their old drink time, so I'm gonna have to go there to shoot them to get rid of that. Okay, but now if I find any more in here, it will show up as the proper time. That threw me for a loop, right? But again, the population reset that had happened, once that's sorted through, it won't be a problem. But just to alleviate any confusion, as I just had, and I just went directly to our QA. Thank you so much, by the way. You know who you are, you freaking legend, you, for being so quick on a reply. So I just saw it and I was like, hold on. And I wanted to be sure before I commented or before I even theorized, but yes, it's correct. So that will sort itself out. So I don't have any down here as of yet. Oh, hey, what's up? How's it going? Please don't kill me. I'm too pretty to die. Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna die now. We know that's not true. Okay, go. Go, go, go. Dangerous. Holy, the dog just losing his mind over here. Ah, yeah. Wow. Mountain lion poop and sound, they do sound off too much. It's driving me nuts. I know. Yeah, I know. The 40 degrees away. It's like they're right in your ear. Yeah. No, Smooth Blue, that's not at all our approach. Welcome, welcome, my friend. I would assume it's your first time to join us here. We try to be very transparent about all the things. We try to talk about all the things, and we try to keep track of a known issues list. It's unfortunate that all games have issues. We acknowledge that, and we do our best to fix them every single one. That 100% our motto. It's what we've done with every single release. But this is just the kind of landscape that we're in today. And we do our absolute best to create the best experience we possibly can. There are a plethora of fixes coming with this one. And largely thank you for the community. But I'm just going to put it out there. Cosmetics have absolutely nothing to do with bug fixing. Like, not a single thing. I don't know if you expected our artists to learn code. All right, artists, put down those digipens and you learn some dang code. So they keep busy while other members of our team are working on that stuff. Okay. You'll forgive my joking attitude with it. It's just I do talk about this a lot, and I've seen a trend where it's typically people that aren't involved, but they're passionate about the game, and we don't fault that. We don't fault that one bit. We understand full well. We're all gamers. New to YouTube, but older to the hunter. Awesome, man. Welcome, dude. Welcome. Dev team has several areas. One thing we worked on is something. Exactly. But as gamers, we only see what's in front of us, right? And we understand that. So it's my job to come here and to try to, well, to be as transparent as we can, to try and pass along the info to assure folks that things are happening. Now, I'm not actually getting any down here yet. So again, this is something I haven't played around with yet. We're going to have to go and spend some time and go through our black bears. Now, you know where that could be. I'm not even going to point it out. We're going to be seeing a bunch of black bear great ones, and I can't wait to see some of you get them. I know they haven't been very accessible for the longest time. Think of it as a gift. Seems like paradise to me, yeah, no doubt, right? Yeah, I know, these cougars are driving me nuts right now. Like, we're aware of the issues. Some issues are harder to track. Some of them are harder to sort through, and they certainly take time. But if you're like me, you probably do this. Let's go to a less cougar area. No, bear do not spook elk. No, they don't. But the mountain lions will. Yeah, that's really the only one the elks have to worry about. Do mountain goats also get their drink time back? No change to mountain goat drink times. How's it going, Elliot? How you doing? An update of the PS4 lake issue not showing the water, just a gray area. I would like to get more like updated as in this week info, but what I've seen is our team, they have spent a lot of time on this one. It's hard because it's a hardware issue that's causing these problems with our current engine. So they're trying to find a workaround. The alternative when that happened was you would crash and it would be unplayable around any waterway. That's why you were seeing the water as that. It is not how we want it at all. So I don't have a confirmation on what's happening with that one, but I will let you know. Yes, tomorrow's the angler. Always. I shouldn't say always. We missed it the last few weeks, but we are back in action tomorrow on the water. Can I show the ammo of the weapon packs? Yes, this is more a time right now where I want you guys to be able to ask questions. I want to answer your questions. I want to make sure I've covered everything. I've been trying to point out each and spend some time on each one. Can I actually, I can't pull that out because I cannot edit this. So I cannot actually show you. No, and I can't copy it. So that's unfortunate. Can I? No. I can't show you the classes, but we will get those out to you. You guys will see those close to release. The overall class rework. It's kind of cool. Looks good. it's good. I actually quite like it. I quite like actually having the big one for me. Changing those icons was putting the white-tailed deer in, just because it tells you class 4 is your deer species, class 3 and 4 are your deer species. It's kind of a nice look. Anyways, there is a cosmetic pack coming with this. I should point out. Speaking of cosmetics, again, our artists don't want to just twiddle their thumbs and do nothing. And it's an Emerald Coast one. I won't give you the details. I'll let you guys see it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I know a lot of our folks, the majority of our folks love these cosmetics. You guys are not going to be disappointed. Okay, so I'm still going to cover the double action revolvers. We've gone over everything, I do believe. I'm not missing anything, right? I want to make sure you guys have everything. And then we're just going to move to QA. We're going to actually spend some time. We're going to try and get through everything. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. Good. Cool. I've done my end. Haha. We're going to go over the speed loaders in just a moment. Let's just take a look at the lake here and see if I've got anything off of my old time. I like it wouldn't be many, but I may have a couple stragglers, like 2 or 3, that maneuver. Like, remember, they're not all firmly attached to need zones, and that's my hopes, because I'm not going to take the time today to go and shoot out the old drink times to get them into my current drink times. Did the OG muzzleloader accuracy ever get fixed? Yes, that is one of the big fixes. It took so much testing. It was a big concern. It almost didn't make it in because of the impact that it has. That, and there was 2 big ones coming with this. One, all weapons will now have, we did a rework on this. It's a very big change. What it looks like to you guys, it looks like as it should be. Everything hits on point. I mean, unless, of course, there's bullet drop and such, but everything is absolutely on point. Other weapons have been affected by that, and we've seen it pop up in the past with various updates, with the way the game talks to itself, with all of its moving parts. We would see it pop up here and there. That should hopefully not happen anymore. And so we got a good bit of testing on that one. It's honestly, I don't want that to be overshadowed. Also, the animals glitching along shore, the water line. What that is the animals, when they move into the water, the game says, you're not supposed to be in there, but it snaps it back, and it was snapping back too far and too quick. There's been some adjustments made, which we could do within the time frame before we had to go to certification. It's better. They still get a little bit at points, but it's not like it was. They're not appearing 20 meters away, and it's a big improvement. It's something we're going to continue to work on, but it's a big improvement. And what else? So those were the 2 big fixes that are coming. Will there be archery updates at a later time, like stabilizer, different kinds of releases? There's a very good chance of that. I think our bows have had a lot of love for a while. We were getting a lot of bows. There was some of it was reworked, and long bows and such introduced, and that. I think that now that the weapons have had some love with, you know, much needed aim adjustments and such, it's a good possibility. Yeah, maybe you could see something like that. What about Wolves speedrun? Can you fix that? So a lot of that was tied to one of the fixes we have here. It will be better, not perfect. Oh man, what are you guys doing to me? It's my favorite species, second favorite species IRL. I'm about the beast. All right, so we didn't get any stragglers. I was hoping for a one-off just to show those times, but it's not about me hunting today. Not about me hunting. So let's head over. Let's go look at the speed loaders. Let's look at the speed loaders. We have some handgun fans, and one of the complaints we had was like, look, these guns, you know, the cocking action, it just wasn't right. Pulling back the hammer, not pulling it. So there's a rework. Let me show you what it looks like. Let's head down here. We'll go to the range. Well, Roger, it's not all quite as simple as that, and we're maneuvering some around. You know, the closest comparison to the red deer is elk, and elk being at 7. It kind of makes sense where the red deer sit. Maybe red deer get a little moved up. It's a tough one. There's a balance there. There's a balance. But I urge you to try it and see the update before you put too much thought into it, because it really will have an impact on what we think. It's greatly reduced. It is a big improvement, Osbia. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so let's take a look here. Now, I've got on me, first off, I showed you last stream, the Focoso had a little bit of a rework, and then we're going to pull up the Sunburn, but just to show you a little bit. You probably see it better if I go into the customization, but it has a much nicer look. It's kind of cool. However, I've got it on my 5. This is what this is all about. Okay. Oh, wait, am I using this? The speed level? Is this? Hold on a second. Hold on. There we go. Or, in a nutshell, this is what we're talking about. So it's snappier on the fire. So if you just want one shot at a time through all 5 rounds, you get the nice little animation on the hammer. And if you want to really lay into something, as you would expect. Yes, finally is right. I'm doing the start devs right now. It's these little touches that just, they change the feel, right? They change the feel. Obviously, this isn't something that they've spent a ton of time on. But it's something they were conscious enough of to say, hey, we want to improve this experience. We want it to make it look more accurate. And that's what this is all about. When you hear about the speed loaders, it really, I mean, and it has an effect, as you can see. This could be something else, man. If you are absolutely getting on top of these things, if you're getting some wolves on you, it's going to have, well, it's going to help you live. So rapidly pulling the trigger while aiming will fire a double action, meaning the user does not need to wait for the hammer to be cocked. It's a nice little change, right? Mag dumps here. Totally Culligan, man. Totally. Hey, well, tracer rounds would be cool. I'm a big fan of tracer rounds. I'm not going to lie. I haven't lose sight of this yet, but it would be so much fun, especially somewhere here in the range. I had to step off the platform because you get the unlimited in here and it doesn't trigger the reload. So you do get a different animation than when you're standing out here and you do it. Oh, so you only get it when you're like this. Interesting. Oh, hold on. I didn't notice that. But you don't get it here when you're in the range because it's just going to give you a minute. And you can just blast, right? You need a few. Not too bad. A little hip fire action. Not too shabby. It is a win, right? Now, folks, what's up, man? Good to see you, my dude. Does the perks affect this? It's not so. The perks will have the same effect as they did. They will still increase. They're not going to, but like you can see there's a base change to the gun here, right? There's a base change. So, you know, that the perk will actually add on top of that, yes. Last update, we were able to delete retired dogs. So it plans to allow us to delete items from inventory. Toad, that is actually a great suggestion. It's one that is, it seems to come up. I mean, it's not like everyone's screaming for it, but it would be appreciated by all of our players. I recognize this, and I know our devs do as well. That could be a big quality of life move, something to strongly consider. And I think it's something we could take a look at. It's just stuff like that, because and I've talked about this before, and it's one of the reasons why our updates are so big for some of our console folks. Let's say we make a change to the Sunberg. Okay, everything that touches the Sunberg then gets an update when we download, right? But it also gets updates in the game, so anything it touches needs to be changed. You know, it's cumbersome. So stuff like that, it doesn't sound like much. Oh, just let us delete stuff, but it would be a big undertaking. So then you have to take the time. You say, okay, do we have to be considerate of, do we spend our time doing that, or do we make an entirely new feature that everyone's been asking for, or do we add a new species? Or I think you know where I'm going with that. But I think that's one that would be very, very appreciated. Very much so. Can I show the ammo of the weapon pack? Yes, I certainly can. We can go into here. We'll go to our ammo. You're using the 300 as you'd expect. You're using the 4570 as you would expect. And The 10 gauge is obviously the newer stuff. Oh, here, I'll show you all the lineup on the 10 gauge because I don't have all of it on me. Let's go store, shotgun ammo, and we have our 10 gauge brass, obviously, but now we have the 10 gauge plastic, birdshot, buckshot, slugs, and it's just more additions. So you can see the stats here are pretty much, across the board. Although the slug, you get that nicer range. It makes it a little more viable having that follow up. Depending what your loadout is, that might be your answer. For your red deer or who knows. I mean, 10 gauge slug, it's pretty big, and it does hit pretty hard. Here we go, cycling through the weapons while we're talking. Do we have to buy the speed loader from the store before it takes effect? It's automatically applied to the handguns. Yes, it's just an update that's automatically applied. You're good to go. Start of the show right here. How many rounds? 5. 5, as you can see, you get 5 in this. It's pretty damn cool. What's going on? Welcome. Good to see you, Michael. Welcome, my friend. We need to be able to see the time in multiplayer PS4 between the server. It's always time. There's limitations on console and what we're able to do. Like when you even look at PlayStation compared to Xbox and the differences in the multiplayer, what we're able to display. So, but we've heard that. We've heard you on that, and we're always actively exploring its limitations, the way that they talk to each other. 4570 did get a buff. We're calling it because I don't want to create any false expectations. I don't want people to think that I can pick up the old 4570 lever action, go out and start dropping buffaloes. Due to the balance reasons of the game, the gun is not there. It is improved from where it was. It's got a better velocity, less bullet drop, right? So as a result, the thing hits harder. It does a better job. It really does. But again, you're not taking it out for buffalo. It works pretty good on the Meese though. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm missing so much of you, Twitch. Which handgun is it again? Which one was it? Which one are you referring? So this is the Sunbird 454. This was the community gift that we put out. It's the 454 with the skin that our devs made, that our artists made as just a thank you to the community for our anniversary. It's kind of fun, I love this thing. It's one of my favorite skins, native skins in the game. I think it's really, really cool. Can you use the new 10 gauge ammo with the Miller shotgun? I do believe your 10 gauge ammo is you can use it across between, but I haven't tried. I actually haven't tried. I know our testers were on that, and I do believe the answer is yes. That I will have to confirm. You got to remember, there's so much in this game, and I think that I've looked at everything. You guys, man, you're amazing. Like, you keep me on my toes, and I love it. Like, I'm just to double check. I'm drum above a little bit anyways. Yeah. The what are we asking? Just to confirm, but your slug does go to level 9. Yeah, it's a showstopper. This thing packs a lot of punch. It really, really does. I think you guys will like it. It's going to be a welcome shotgun. I mean, any shotgun that has that kind of fire rate, and that has bird shot makes all of our bird hunters, our fowl hunters, happy. It would be nice to actually see the ammo stats behind the arbitrary expansion penetration. Take them with a grain of salt, though, because you can't compare them to the other weapons. It's specific to, yeah, it's better to get a try on them and see what they do. Caliber whitetail plays, leather doesn't do. It's game balance, as I've explained. 44 is my second favorite weapon. Nice, very nice. Polymer tip bullet for solo kid. Yeah. Well, some of them have different types of ammo right now, and maybe that's something we do in the future. Maybe we spend the time to create a new round for an existing weapon, as opposed to creating new weapons and adding. It's always a possibility. But this black bear change turn into, and I'm not point out some of that stuff because I'm not gonna lie, it's a concern of mine. It is a concern. Yeah. Delete. Are you able to show us the new class pictures? I wanted to, but I have them on. I have them on my stream notes. So if I put it like this, it's not a great picture. It's not how I wanted to show you guys this. I'll pull this over. Because I don't want to go in. I don't want to reveal any of the cosmetics that are coming. We really have such a majority of people that love these cosmetics, and I love seeing their surprises. So I don't inadvertently want to give any of that away. Here, let me bring this over. Let me show you. Here we go. So here's the new lineup for the icons. This is the overall class icon. So like, you'll notice that the reindeer aren't displayed on here anymore. Okay, right? They're no longer there, but they still retain their icon. Okay, we're talking about the overall icon when they say a class 1 species or a class 2. But when you check the tracks of, the reindeer, it's still going to show up as a reindeer. Okay, so now your class 1 is your rabbit. Your coyote on 2, you can see, and I really like this. I think this right here, the class 3 and 4, that represents well. These are our deer species. That really clumps up. Okay, I know those that ammo rating, good for those. I think it makes sense to what they did here. 8 and 9, the big boys. 7, 8, 9, really, the big boys. You can almost visually see the ammo, so the weapons broken out by looking at the list now. You could before, but some were just maybe less recognized as, for that size in our game. So yeah, it's not a massive change, but it's just something they brought in. So there you go. Go ahead, take a screenshot of that if you like, or pause, come back to the stream. Go. I wrote that down. These are new great one. No new news. No. Will there be pop resets for the class changes? No. So let me just cover everything one more time here. We'll start at the top, and I'll talk about those in 1 second. So again, for those that have not heard and are just joining, I see the numbers bouncing around. This is the high caliber weapon pack that will be available on March 12th across all platforms. You're looking at about $4.99 US. So do your conversions, whereabouts you are. It can vary, but not by very much. I try to keep that price down to keep it accessible to everybody. We've gone over the 3 different weapons coming within the weapon pack. It is none other than the Arzina 300 mag tactical. Yeah, I nailed that one. You all thought I was going to slip up. I know you did. We've got the 4570 Jernberg Superior, the single shot 4570. This thing makes your loadouts very, very unique. We've got the Strandberg 10SA Executive Shotgun, and this thing, I mean, it blasts. I don't know what else to say. It's going to be a welcome addition. Arguably, this being the star of the show right here. Let me yoink. This is coming with the free pistol packing update. The full patch notes will be released on launch, but I can tell you the 4570 ammo has seen some slight improvements with the increase in their muzzle velocity, their penetration range, and the delayed bullet drop. Okay, that it makes a difference on how that round feels to use. Is pretty cool. We went over the speed loaders. Speed loaders actually look and act more accurate now, and it's a nice addition. I think it gives you a little more immersion. The big news that we dropped on you today, of course, is the Black Bear drink time change, which is now going to be from 4 a.m. until 8 a.m. This is a massive change. We are very conscious and very acutely aware of the progress and time that a lot of you put into your maps, and we've decided not to reset the population. Now, if it turns out to not be the best experience for the overall community, we can offer a pop reset, but it is a last resort. For now, the animals, because we have not done a reset, the bear, I should say, specifically the black bear, will show up at their previous drink times. You must shoot them, and they will show up at their new drink times. Give us your feedback on this in the Discord once it has released and you've had a chance to see it, when all feedback's valid, because you don't know what it's going to be until it's up. I'm just saying, you guys give me a lot to read, man, and I don't like missing any of it. All right. The animal class updates is not affecting reserve populations, but some loadouts might need to be updated. As you've seen things like the Bobcats moving from a 3 to a 2, it really opens up the range of weapons in which you can use. So pretty cool. With that, we had the changes that we just showed of the overall class icons. And that's just our artists neatening it up a little bit, making it a little more in line with what they've envisioned. There will be a cosmetic pack that will release with this. In fact, it's the Emerald Coast cosmetic pack. There are some juicy things in there for our skin fans you'll be able to check out. One of the things that we didn't really spend much time on, but I showed it here today, moving all together in that proper direction. As you can see, we now have the ability to customize our binos and our rangefinders. It's a small thing. It's obviously not something that they spent months on, but it's something they wanted to offer because we do get requests for this. Quads when? I'm just saying. Oh, goodness. So that's it in a nutshell, my friends. We're not far away. Listen, this weekend coming up is our creator early access. Your favorite partnered creators will be out there putting these weapons and the pistol pack update through its paces. Go and show them your support. They're excited about this. They're excited about the weapons. They're excited about the change to the Black Bears. Please show them support in our niche genre. We're such a tight community, and it's just great to see our creators excited. Much love to each and every one of you and each and every one of them for hanging in there. Do you need to shoot all bears for them to go to their new drink time, or only one? You do need to cycle through those bears to get them to go to their new drink time. You can see, I know we're over time now, but I can't stress enough, this is a tough one for the team, right? If we reset the population, sometimes we can reset an individual. Most times when we've had to do a pop reset, it's because there's just too many moving parts and we've had to do the entirety. We don't want to have to do any of this. Why reset if we don't have to? But it's not ideal. So we struggled with this. We really did. Please, once you guys are out there and you're trying it, it shouldn't take much for you to get through them. Is that an approach you want to see more in the future? This is entirely just us thinking about you guys. Okay? We don't want any wasted time and energies. It comes down to. Ideally, we would love it if you would go and delete all of them so they all get on the right page. But we'll see how it goes. If we do need to do a pop reset, it will have to come with the next update, which will be, in fact, the new map that we're not allowed to talk about at this particular point in time, that I cannot confirm nor deny anything on, especially great ones and new species and locations. And said too much. I gotta go. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you so much. I hope you are as excited as I am about this. These weapons, man, I feel like our devs are listening to what the community's asking for, these changes. We're definitely moving in the right direction. This isn't obviously, our big update in the year. The fact they've gotten this much in there, I tip my hat to them. I hope everybody is happy with what you're seeing. Let us know in the Discord, especially upon release. Please give us that feedback. And I'll see you guys next week if you're coming back for a hunt. But, hey, we have a special one next week. I think I gotta get some of my devs to come out. I'm just saying. It's always good when the devs come out and join us. It's gonna be great to have them out here. I do believe I get Arshak back, and somebody I haven't met yet, who is a very, very big part of our game. I'll save that for next week, so don't miss that. And of course, tomorrow we're out for a fish. We missed the last couple. Come and join us for the Tackle Box stream tomorrow. It's always a good time. Great way to start your days. If you're here in North America, a great way to end your day if you're overseas. Much love from your bearded brother. We've run way over. I'm out like a Boy Scout. Much love from your bearded brother. Seriously, black bears. Man,